Hi, I am Brittany Archuleta, and my presentation is Social Emotional Learning in Schools. Many of these references that I have used in my presentation, I saved into my toolbox that I've learned from in my master's program. So let's first talk about what is SEL. Castle Collaborative for Academic, Social, and Emotional Learning defines social and emotional learning, or SEL, as an integral part of education and human development. SEL is the process through which all young people and adults acquire and apply the knowledge, skills, and attitudes to develop healthy identities, manage emotions, and achieve personal and collective goals. Feel and show empathy for others, establish and maintain supportive relationships, and make responsible and caring decisions. Why SEL is important for teachers. The best teachers are learners first, then role models for the SEL skills they want to see in their students. Social emotional learning is most productive when all teachers are invested in the program. With SEL, students not only experience less anxiety, less hyperactivity, and less aggression, they're generally happier and more attentive too. The impact on teachers is no less profound. Teachers report that SEL contributes to their own feelings of happiness and helps them to be more organized and responsive. Now we're going to talk about ways that teachers can use each of the 5 components or practice each of the 5 components in their classroom. And these are ways that teachers can practice self-awareness in their classroom. Acknowledge your own emotions and how they may play into your reactions. Explicitly name the skill that you are using as you model them. This way the students understand this is the skill, what is being presented to me, and this is how I use it. View students as partners and develop social emotional skills. SEL is not only for students, it is for staff as well. Create opportunities for success for yourself and your students. Understand that it may take a little longer for some students to learn social emotional skills as they develop self-confidence. These are ways that teachers can practice self-management in the classroom. Understand that some students who learn and think differently have had recurrent experiences of failure because school systems haven't been able to meet their needs. Understand that some students' experiences are at odds with school systems and institutions that are historically inequitable. Know that when students' lived experiences are in conflict with school values, they may disengage from class. When you model your own self-management, explain the why behind what you're doing. Use goal setting in the classroom and teach students how to set life goals. These are ways that teachers can practice social awareness in the classroom. Go build a community that values the collective good and concern for other people. Create space and norms for you and your students to talk about hearing a new perspective, change your point of view. Ask for your students' feelings and perspectives on the classroom environment. These are ways that teachers can practice responsible decision-making in the classroom. Recognize that students need your help to learn to become responsible decision-makers in developmentally appropriate ways. Share with your students your own process as you make decisions and explain the why behind them. This helps students know how to make responsible decisions. Seek out and provide access to diverse role models who have similar experiences as the students in your class. And these are ways that teachers can practice relationship skills in the classroom. Search for the why behind a student's behavior before responding. Identify when an action wasn't appropriate and provide an appropriate alternative action or response. Acknowledge that these skills can be difficult to practice. Find ways to practice problem solving without actual conflicts, like role-playing. Build in ways for students to reflect on their own thinking, patterns, and relationships. Be an active listener and show students you are hearing and responding to their feedback. Plan classroom activities that focus on building trust and a sense of belonging. Why SEL is important in the classroom. Well-implemented SEL programs positively affect students' success in school. Studies show that social-emotional skills such as problem-solving, self-regulation, impulse control, and empathy help improve academics, reduce negative social behaviors like bullying, and create positive classroom climates. Social emotional skills also help kids successfully manage everyday life. They help students focus, make good decisions, and become supportive members of their community well beyond school. So there's research that's been done that proves that SEL works. And the results from a landmark meta-analysis looked at across 213 studies involving more than 270,000 students found that SEL interventions that address the 5 competencies increased students' academic performance by 11 percentile points compared to students who did not participate. Students participating in SEL programs showed improved classroom behavior and increased ability to manage stress and depression and better attitudes about themselves, others, and school. Additional meta-analysis echoed these findings. Consistency across independent research teams offers strong support that well-implemented SEL programs are beneficial. And now we have tips for teachers implementing SEL in their classroom. We all know that checking in the morning with students is very important. So start your day off with a morning meeting or check-in. Teach students to solve problems with peer mediation. Use role-playing activities. Use anchor charts to teach social-emotional skills. And just as important our check-ins are, our checks out are just as important as our check-ins are. Check out just as much as you check in. And here's a list of my references. Thank you.